Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we have some new updates regarding AEW Fight Forever, including a new interview with the producers, screenshots from the demo build, and official news on when the game will be released. Plus, we also have a small update in regards to WWE 2K23 ahead of today's 2K earnings call. Before we get into any of that though, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. So let's start out with a quick recap of what's been happening with AEW Fight Forever, as back in August we had the reveal of the first gameplay footage featuring Kenny Omega and Adam Cole, with AEW then going on to showcase a demo of the game at Gamescom. Now at that point in time, it was reported that AEW planned to have Kenny Omega attend the Tokyo Game Show and further promote the game and its features, though those plans were changed following the backstage altercation that took place at AEW All Out, as Kenny Omega was one of several stars to be suspended, along with the main AEW cover star CM Punk. As a result of the suspensions, Kenny's appearance at the Tokyo Game Show was cancelled, though the AEW game was still present, as similar to Gamescom, a demo of the game was available to attendees, with several AEW stars also making the trip to put on exhibition matches. Since the Tokyo Game Show, there's been no news at all regarding the game, which has led many fans to speculate that AEW have stopped any promotion plans while suspensions are in place, though now it appears that AEW and THQ Nordic may be ready to resume their promotion of the game, as THQ Nordic's Japanese website has begun posting content that is taken from the Tokyo Game Show, with this content including a new interview with AEW Senior Vice President Nick Sovic and THQ Nordic producer David Knudsen, who previously worked as a producer on both the SmackDown vs. Raw series and WWE's Legends of WrestleMania. Included with the interview, we also have several new screenshots that were taken from the demo build, the first of which gives us our first official look at the selection screen, where we have 6 stars available for selection. Those stars include Adam Cole, CM Punk, Hikaru Shida, Kenny Omega, Paul White, and Thunder Rosa. Additional screenshots that are taken from the TGS build also show off Adam Cole as he makes his entrance, as well as a new shot of Adam Cole going up against Kenny Omega. As for the interview itself, Nick speaks about how AEW's video game came about, as he reveals that AEW conducted initial research to find out what the majority of wrestling fans were interested in, with that research revealing that most fans were interested in video games. Therefore, with the help of Kenny Omega, AEW made it a high priority to create AEW Fight Forever and have spent the last 2.5 years working on it. The interview sees both Nick and David go out and talk about the appeal of Fight Forever and how the game is a spiritual successor to the Aggie-developed WWF No Mercy and the Virtual Pro Wrestling series, which is why the first thing they did was contact the creative director of WWF No Mercy and get him involved in the project. Rather than creating a clone of No Mercy, Nick stated that while they've inherited such a good core system, they've also greatly evolved a lot of the elements, including the graphics and the storytelling that's seen in career mode. They also brought up the fact that Yuke's are continuing to hand animate all of the moves that'll be featured, and while that's a lot of work, Nick thinks that fans will recognise the value of this when they're able to experience it. As for the roster, when asked about the stars that fans can expect to see, Nick wasn't able to share any new information as the final lineup is yet to be announced. However, he did confirm that players can create their own wrestler and that downloadable content will be available after the main game is released, with the plan being to support the game for a long time. Adding to this, David noted that the version that we've seen in videos from the event was actually an old build of the game taken from 2 months prior, and that the team have already made multiple improvements and enhancements in the time since. As Nick mentioned in his response regarding the roster, Fight Forever includes the option for players to create their own wrestler. However, that's not the only creation mode that fans can expect, as the info sheet from the Tokyo Game Show confirms 4 additional modes. Those modes include custom movesets, custom entrances, custom teams, and custom arenas. Comparing those offerings to the modes that we're used to seeing in the WWE series, then the only missing options are Create a Show, Create a Victory, and Create a Championship, though it's likely any show options will be merged into the arena creation and we could potentially see victory options added elsewhere. As for how in-depth these modes will be, that's something that we'll have to wait and see, as generally the first game in a wrestling series tends to be pretty barren. However, given Yuke's history creating these types of games, then this may be the game to break that mold. So that's the information coming out of the TGS interviews, with this info being the first news that we've had since the promotion of the game was placed on hold. And while it's nothing really new, the good news is that this appears to be the start of AEW and THQ Nordic resuming their promotion, which hopefully means that we'll hear more news soon. Speaking of more news, one of the biggest questions about the game currently is when will it release, as the placeholder dates that are listed on several websites all have the game listed for December 31st, 2022. However, it now appears that the game won't be releasing before the end of the year, as a description for the TGS interviews listed on the official THQ Nordic website state that AEW Fight Forever is scheduled to release in 2023. So this confirms that the game won't release before the end of this year, as was previously rumoured, with the game instead now coming in 2023. As for when in 2023, that now becomes the big question, as a release at the beginning of the year would likely see the game going head to head with WWE 2K23, that is, providing 2K Sports stick to the March release date that was seen with 2K22. Speaking of WWE games, today sees 2K Sports parent company Take-Two Interactive hold their latest investor earnings call, with the call set to reveal 2K's latest financial results as well as their projections for Q2 2023. Now, while that call is business focused to provide insight to shareholders, there is the possibility that we could get some news in regards to WWE 2K23, as the previous earnings call included a list of upcoming games and their release windows, of which WWE 2K23 was listed for a fiscal 2023 release, which meant that the game was planned to release anytime up to March 31st, 2023. This release window appeared to hint that 2K would be sticking with the March release seen with WWE 2K22, though given the fact that we've yet to see anything in regards to the game, there is the chance that it may have been pushed back, as the lead up to WWE 2K22 seen 2K release multiple trailers and the announcement of several game modes between March and December, whereas this year the game hasn't even been acknowledged publicly. One of the reasons for this could be that WWE 2K22 was originally planned to release in 2021, and that was why we've seen the game promoted earlier than we have this year, though 2K have repeatedly stated that the plan was always to release the game in March. Anyway, the point is that we should see confirmation later today on when the game is due to release, as if the earnings call continues to list the game for fiscal 2023, then we'll know that the plan is to release the game before the end of March, or if plans have changed and it's been pushed back, then the list of upcoming games should be updated to give us an idea of when we can expect it. So it's going to be an interesting year ahead, knowing that both WWE 2K23 and the AEW game are both set to release sometime in the new year, but with AEW and THQ Nordic now resuming their promotion of the game, hopefully it's not too long before we get an official release date. Anyway guys, that's the latest news that I have for you today, but let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.